We tend to think of loneliness as, just a feeling, a bummer. But what if it's something much, much deeper? What if it's a genuine biological condition, a kind of poison our bodies were never, ever designed to handle? In this explainer, we're going to dig into why human isolation is one of the most dangerous states we can possibly experience.
So to really get this, we've got to look back, way back. For something like 10,000 generations, humanity lived and breathed and survived in these super tight-knit groups. But in just the last 1 or 2 generations, that has completely flipped on its head. This sudden, dramatic shift is right at the heart of our modern crisis of loneliness, mainly because our ancient biology is still playing by the old rulebook.
All right, so let's start with a habit that's been ingrained in us for 200,000 years. Our bodies, our brains, they were all forged in the fire of intense social connection. This isn't just a preference, it's literally part of our core programming.
I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. 200,000 years. That is an almost unimaginable amount of time for our species to evolve as a fundamentally social creature. It's a habit that's just incredibly deep-rooted.
For our ancestors, survival was a group project, plain and simple. It was a team sport. You needed the tribe to hunt big game, you needed them to watch your back for predators, and you absolutely needed them to care for you if you got sick or hurt. Trying to go it alone? Yeah, that just wasn't an option.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. Being cast out, being isolated, that was the ultimate threat. Your body evolved to treat social isolation like a 5-alarm fire, a critical, life-threatening emergency. It basically screamed danger to your entire system. Which, of course, brings us to today, and this creates a really dangerous mismatch. We're living in a world that is so radically different from the one we evolved in, and it's creating this massive conflict between our ancient wiring and our shiny new digital world. Just think about it for a second. We can get food, entertainment, and even what passes for social interaction without ever leaving our homes. We've basically built ourselves these comfortable little digital snail shells. And yeah, they can feel cozy, but they are a totally hollow substitute for the real-world connection our bodies are screaming for.
And here it is. This is the absolute key to understanding all of this. When you're chronically lonely, your brain honestly doesn't know the difference between social rejection and a physical predator. It triggers the exact same emergency response, but because the threat is a feeling, that alarm just never, ever turns off.
So this is where our ancient superpower, the stress response, comes into play. It's a brilliant system. It's designed for short-term survival. But when that system gets stuck in the on position, that superpower turns into a slow-acting poison. Okay, let's paint a picture. Imagine an early human. We'll call him Suddenly, a predator shows up. Instantly, his body is flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. His heart pounds, his senses are razor-sharp, he is primed to either fight or run for his life. And he survives! The threat is gone and his body goes back to normal. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. And that, right there, is the crucial difference. Acute, short-term stress, that's survival God mode. It literally saves your life. But chronic stress, the kind that's triggered by long-term loneliness, is a biological poison. It just slowly, methodically breaks your body down from the inside out. So what does this biological carnage actually look like? Well, when that stress alarm is blaring 24/7, your body starts to wage a war against itself. And the consequences? They're devastating. First off, your immune system just gets totally confused. It starts pumping out the wrong kinds of cells, the ones that cause inflammation. This creates a constant state of friendly fire inside you, ripping these tiny little wounds into your blood vessels, which can lead to plaques that choke off blood flow and oxygen. Your brain also takes a massive hit. Chronic stress literally rewires it, favoring quick, impulsive reactions over calm, thoughtful problem solving. Your ability to make wise decisions actually shrinks, making you even worse at figuring out how to solve the very problem, the isolation, that's causing all this damage. And finally, there's just total metabolic chaos. That constant flood of stress hormones causes the dangerous fat around your organs, your visceral fat, to leak fatty acids into your system. This creates a toxic internal environment and dramatically increases your risk for serious conditions like type 2 diabetes. Now, here's the truly devious part about this whole condition. It traps you. The biological effects of loneliness actually make it harder and harder to seek out the very thing you need most, human connection. It creates this vicious downward feedback loop.
The state of isolation itself makes you more anxious and fearful of social situations. That anxiety then makes you way more likely to cancel plans or avoid people altogether. And of course, avoiding people, well, that just leads to even deeper isolation. It's a prison you don't even realize you're building.
But look, it's not all doom and gloom. Not at all. Here's the hopeful part. Just because our wiring is ancient doesn't mean we're doomed. Understanding the biology behind this is the first crucial step toward reconnecting with that biological megalopolis that we all so desperately need.
This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? We are a species built for collaboration, for connection, for belonging. It's not some fluffy, nice to have, it's a biological necessity, just as critical as food, water, or air.
So if you feel that crushing weight of loneliness, please remember this. Your body is not broken. It's not failing you. It is working perfectly. It's sounding a very, very old and a very, very loud alarm telling you that it's time to go find your people. It's time to find your tribe.
That feeling of loneliness, it isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of your deep humanity. It's a 200,000-year-old story that's encoded right into your DNA. So the only question left is, are you ready to listen to it?